Oh, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emoliayo, also known as OG Tutu. In this video, I'll be sharing with you guys how to do your bob knotless bohemian braids, and this is going to be in size small. Before we get into introduction, I just need to explain to you guys, I already prepped this hair off camera or on camera actually, so I have a video on how to prep your hair before you start braiding. So if you want that, please leave it down in the comment section. Just say I'm interested in seeing that and I'll post that. So I'm using this particular hair. This is 18 inches. I bought it from Amazon, and I am using 48 inches of this synthetic expression hair. And what I did was I cut it into two so that it is easy for me to braid on, because since it's going to be bob, I don't think I need the 48 inches. Another thing that I love doing is to stretch out my curly hair, just to give me that pointed tip, so that way it is easier to install whenever I am braiding. And I always use gel for this. So because I am doing a small braid, so at the back of the braids I always do like 3 rows for small. For medium I do like 2 rows, and for large I do like 1 row. So if you want to know how to prep your hair before braiding, please leave it down in a comment section. So I'm just trying to see how I want the braids to be like, so you guys can see that that's like 3 rows right there. So you can see that the first hair partition that I did is for the back. So that one is for the hair that is going to be at the back. So usually if it is medium size, I'm going to just do 2 rows. So I'm just going to divide this particular part into 2. So but right now I have to part it into 3 because it is small. I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying, but I think the video is actually very self-explanatory for you guys to see how to do this braid. So before I go into explaining how to do this braid, if you are a new subscriber, welcome to this channel. If you do not stumble upon this video by mistake, it's by divine connection, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel. My name is Emoliayo. I am a hairstylist and a makeup artist, so which means that you are going to be seeing a lot of makeup and hair videos on this channel, and very soon maybe lifestyle and other things. So please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also, it's just help with the engagement. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. I am always I'm so grateful for the gift of you guys. Thank you so much. And this is another video for you guys to watch. So yeah, so for each rows, this is actually very important, so let's just get into the explanation part of this video. So for each rows I always do 4 at the back. When the first row, just like this first row that I'm braiding right now, I always, if it is for the small knotless braid, I usually do 5 strands of braids for the first row. But if it is medium size, I do 4 strands of braid for the back. And then there are some people that have a very large or a very wide nape when it comes to their hair. So the nape of their hair is very large. So what I usually do when it is medium is I end up doing 5, but some people, they have a smaller nape of the back, so I usually do 3 or 4. But the ideal one that I usually do is 4 strands of braids at the back for medium size. But for small like this, I do 5, just to give that small look. You get what I mean? So in this video I actually used super glue for the ends of the hair. And fun fact is that I created this video April 2024, so that's a long time. So a lot of things have changed. I've unlearned certain things, and one of the things that I have unlearned is actually using super glue. It's not like it's going to damage the hair or anything like that. I didn't just like the fact that it just leaves this white cast. And one of the things that I usually do is that whenever there is a new hairstyle online, I like to do it on my models first before I go into doing it to on my customers. And the reason why I do that is because I just want to understand how just when I am talking to my client, I am able to tell them definitely that, oh, this is what you are expecting, this is what you are getting. So at some point I used synthetic for my model and it was bad. It didn't last long. But when I used this particular human hair, it lasted longer. So I'm just trying to say that the super glue method, I used it on my model and I didn't like the result. So now I have another method in which I'm going to talk about. So usually, I will usually curl the ends of the braids using the synthetic hair, but now I don't need to do that. I just add the curly hair at the end of the braid and I braid it down up until the point where the synthetic hair is no more visible. Yes, that's how I do it. So I don't use super glue, I don't use any of those things. I just braid it down and then it just look like the curls is coming out from the braids. So I don't know if you guys understand what I mean. If you don't, I think you can check one of my videos. I don't know if I've done that in recent times. So just like I said, you guys can see how I parted the hair. If you see from the beginning, I showed you guys that that line. So you can see that I did 3 rows of braids at the back, and now we're getting to the top of the braids. And for the top of the braids, when it is small, I always do 14 rows. So when you count from like ear to ear, you realize that there are 14, but by rows I'm going to say 7 because the rows are connecting from ear to ear. So just like how you are seeing it, you're gonna see how I'm going to do it right now. Just as I'm parting the hair from like the first side, so I part it down to the second side of our ear, so that way it is uniform. That's the word, uniform. So I always do like 7, but if you are going to count it in number by rows at the top, it's going to give you like 14 rows. So that's how I do it. But for medium size, I actually usually do 10, and then for large I do I think 8. Yes, 8. So I'm just trying to remember how I usually do this so that you guys can understand. So I'm saying this again, if you want me to share with you guys how I prep this hairstyle, because prepping the hairstyle helps with a lot of things. It actually help you to know how you are styling this hair. And me, whenever I'm doing my braids, one thing I always love to do is to do the brick version. And the brick version is just, I'm going to show you guys how to part the hair. So the brick version is basically not giving gap. So every single gap that you see is filled with hair. So hair is covering every gap of the hair except the last row. So that's basically the brick version. So it just help with it makes the hair really full. And prepping the hair just help you go faster. You'll be very fast with your braids. Just like I said from the beginning, instead of you to go 10 hours braiding, you will go maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. For this hairstyle, usually when it is not my friend, because anytime I have my friend around, we are always chit-chatting, we're always eating, we're always doing something, so we end up not finishing on time. But whenever I have a client, one thing is for sure, this braid take at most, I think it takes 6 hours to finish for this small braids. But if it is medium, it take at least 4 to 5 hours to finish. But because I was with my friend, we're just being a fool, playing and all of those stuff. So we started in the morning and we finished in the night. Yeah, that's just because that's my friend, but usually it shouldn't take that long. Now you guys can see the rows of this hair and you can see how neat this hair is. Another thing that I would also like to say is, speaking of learning and unlearning, there are a lot of things that I have unlearned in the past few months, and that is the use of gel on the scalp. I've seen a lot of arguments online about people talking about they don't want gel on the scalp, and honestly speaking, in as much as I understand why we use the gel, and I'm not here to say that it's bad or anything like that. I just think it is everybody's preference, and I think that every single time you go to your stylist, one of the things that we as customers don't do is we don't communicate with our hairstylists. If we communicate with them and you tell them, I don't want this, I don't want the gel on my scalp, I think they listen. There are a lot of times my clients are, they've told me I don't want gel on my scalp, and I end up using something else like moisturizer. Sometimes it's their moisturizer. So I think maybe you're not discussing with your hairstylist about the use of gel. So right now I am learning not to use gel on the scalp, and there was a time during those times that we're talking about, a lot of people come with the argument of there was a time back in the days, and you see that back in the days there were relaxers, and relaxers just help your hair, it just help your hair stay put. But these days everybody is team natural. There is flyaways, there's something called flyaways, there's something called there are just a lot of things, and that's why the invention of this gel is to just help with the flyaways, honestly speaking, and to just help the hair neater and last longer, truth be told. Yes, are there negative effects? Yes, there are, like the flakiness that comes with it and all of those things. So now one of the things I am learning to do is to use moisturizer for the scalp of the hair, and use the gel for the body of the hair. And when I say the body of the hair, I use gel for this video, and like I said, that's a long time to this point. Recently I started using a lot of moisturizer on the scalp, and one moisturizer that I've been using that helps with the neatness of my braids is basically the Blue Magic moisturizer. So anytime I use the Blue Magic on the scalp for the body of the braids, just to prevent flyaways and all of those things, one thing I started using is I use the gel on the body of the braids to prevent the flyaways. So if you're a hairstylist that is watching this video, I think that you can actually incorporate this into your braiding technique or your braiding style. That way maybe it will help a lot. I am telling you that it has actually been a game changer for me. Yeah, it has been a game changer. The truth is that now the hair looks exactly the way the gel will naturally give. How we are always looking for perfection, how to make sure that the braids is very, very neat. I'm telling you that Blue Magic work wonders, and it helps a lot. So if you want to start adopting that into your braiding system, that would be actually very, very nice to do. Just try it one time and see. You can come back to my comment section to tell me what you guys think of the usage of that. So yeah, I think I have been able to get my 2 to 3 cents into that. So yeah. I also need to say that for every braid you do, when it comes to these Bohemian braids, you have to trim. You have to trim every single time, because you might not even have the time or the chance to start picking one by one and start trimming. It's actually very difficult. Now you guys can see the white cast that I was talking about. Yes, that is exactly how it is. So now we want to curl the hair, and like I said, now I don't actually curl this hair anymore. I just use my curly hair from I braid it down up until the point where the synthetic hair is no more visible. So most times then it looks kind of really curly. So right now I am just trying to create my curls. If you don't know how to create curls traditionally, please leave it in the comment section. Tell me in the comment section that you want me to create a video like that, and I will definitely do that for you guys, because why am I here? So if you want to know how to curl your braids, tell me or leave it down in the comment section, and I will make sure to create that. So right now I'm just creating my curls. I don't use no bending rollers, I don't use no curly equipment. I basically just use my hand, and let me not lie, it curls. You see that curls? it will not move up until the day you want to take this hair out. So this is just the traditional method of, you know, curling your hair. And I just, you know, put it in hot water. In fact, right now I put the whole hair in hot water. Before, I don't do that because I was a bit skeptical, but now I think it's not advisable, but actually I do that, and the curls actually don't leave, the curls don't move. It just gives it a relaxed look. The truth is, when you finish braiding the hair, the curls just stand alone. Yeah, a lot of people use mousse, but you see, once breeze enter into that hair, the truth is it will go back into being puffy. But whenever I use the hot water, it just relaxes. The curls still remain, but then the curls relax. So you want your curls to relax. You don't want it to be so puffy. So yeah, that is all, you guys. I don't know if you guys love this hairstyle. I loved it. By the time I was done, I was like, gosh, this is so beautiful. So yeah, that is all. If you love this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and tell me in the comment section what you like me to create next, and I will definitely do that. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.